The Smash roster is one of my favourite parts of the entire Smash series, with the inclusions of new fighters every installment. Never knowing who's going to make it into Smash 6, some fighters don't make it in, either being deconfirmed from Mii costumes, assist trophies, or other fighters from a third-party developer taking the spot, as well as a few other reasons. Welcome to A New Foe Has Appeared, where we talk about ideas for fighters that could possibly happen in Smash 6, if not the future. I'm your host BB8 from BB8's House. As always, let's get into it. Up next. That's right, Darkrai from the Pokémon series is who we're going to talk about today. You're probably wondering, BB8, couldn't you just wait until Spooky Month to talk about this character? Well, it isn't long left till Spooky Month, so I thought, why not talk about Darkrai as the pre-Spooky Month kickoff? And I know a whole bunch of people have been talking about Darkrai and Smash in the past, so I thought, why not do Darkrai? And without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? So for Darkrai's moveset, his neutral B is Shadow Claw. Darkrai will grow dark energy claws striking forward, and this move deals racking damage. But unlike the games, it will be animated similar to how Sableye used Shadow Claw in the anime. Because we don't actually see Darkrai use Shadow Claw in the anime, but it had to be animated in some way, so I thought, why not take inspiration from how Sableye used Shadow Claw in the anime. His side special being Hypnosis, Darkrai will emit psychic energies forward. If an opponent is caught within them, they will fall asleep for a short amount of time. For the up special being Ominous Wind, Darkrai will summon ghostly winds by thrusting his arms in the direction indicated, and this move does very little damage but will push Darkrai very far in any direction. It can also be used to push away enemies while on the ground. Like Shadow Claw, Ominous Wind will also be animated similar to how Drifloon used Ominous Wind in the anime. Like, some of these moves that Darkrai has, he didn't really use in the anime, so I just thought, why not give examples of other Pokemon using them in the anime and have it animated in a similar way. For the down special being Nightmare, is where Darkrai will emit dark energies forward. If a sleeping opponent is hit by them, they will sleep even longer and take small amounts of damage over a period of time. It will take up to 10 seconds for the effect to wear off and for the opponent to wake up. Mashing directions can cause the player to wake up early, and being attacked by another player will not wake an affected player up or speed up the process. And for the final smash, we have Dark Void. Darkrai will fly up towards the top of the screen and he will raise his hands above his head. Gathering dark energies, he will begin rapid firing dark energy spheres. If an opponent is hit, they will immediately fall asleep and take a lot of nightmare damage. This final smash would end up being a combination of the Dark Void move as seen in the anime and his ultimate move from Pokémon Tournament. And I do think this could create an interesting combination here. For the ults and the Kirby Hat, Darkrai's ults would end up being based on the legendaries or mythicals as seen in Generation 4. Pitch Black would just be his default costume. Shiny Violet would be his shiny version. Temporal Blue would be based on Dialga. Spatial Pink will be based on Palkia. Distortion Grey will be based on Giratina. Full Moon Gold will be based on Cresselia. Original White would end up being based on Arceus. And Reggie Green will end up being based on Regigigas. And for the Kirby Hat, I thought I'd go different this time, because unlike other Kirby Hats I've used in the past, for Darkrai, I went different. For Darkrai's Kirby Hat, I ended up making Kirby around the same shade of black as Darkrai with blue eyes. And he also gets the red spiky growth around his neck and obtains the Shadow Claw ability. His classic mode route being Dreams of Darkness. Darkrai's classic mode route refers to the fact that it is a dark type Pokemon and its dream related abilities, and the route is themed around combatants with a similar dark theme to them. Round 1 being Mr. Game & Watch, Round 2 being Bayonetta, Round 3 being Ganondorf, Link and Young Link, with Link and Young Link taking their dark alts. Round 4 being Meta Knight. Round 5 being Dark Samus and Dark Pit. Round 6 being Greninja and Incineroar. And the boss being Darkon. Like, no other character has used a boss from World of Light as a part of their classic mode route, but Darkrai being the first to do so, I do think Darkon makes more sense for Darkrai than the other bosses on the roster. So for the victory theme, the poses, and the Punch-Out title, the victory theme for Darkrai would be a bit different to any other Pokemon, because it would be a dark goth version of the Pokemon victory theme from Smash Ultimate. So the first taunt would be Darkrai raising its hand into the air, causing dark energy to emerge around itself. Taunt 2, Darkrai dramatically holds its hand to its face, then swings it to the side. And Taunt 3, Darkrai ominously glares while hunching down, turning slightly intangible like a shadow. So for victory, pose 1, Darkrai casts out a barrage of dark voids, one of which hits the camera and changes perception to that nightmarish filter while Darkrai poses. Victory pose 2, the entire screen goes pitch black before Darkrai's eye shines through, absorbing the darkness onto itself and poses. And for victory pose 3, Darkrai unleashes a wave of dark energy from itself, then extends its legs and simply stands before the camera. And for the defeat pose, Darkrai glares at the victor with its arms crossed, and the Punch-Out title being The Nightmare from Distortion. For the Amiibo, its Smash render, Darkrai would have the pose similar to what is seen in the art, but the only difference is that Darkrai has a dark energy orb in its hand. On the Amiibo, Darkrai would have a translucent support underneath with a dark aura behind Darkrai, similar to how Joker has blue flames behind its Amiibo. For the compatible games, for Super Smash Bros., you could tap Darkrai in as a fighter you could train. Detective Pikachu 2, you could unlock a Darkrai themed case. And for Pokemon Unlimited, tap to battle Darkrai, tap again once defeated to catch the Pokemon, and the Pokemon is stored within the Amiibo, not your Pokemon box. But of course, you can't have both the fighter and the Pokemon stored within the same Amiibo. You can only have one or the other. But of course, Detective Pikachu 2 and Pokemon Unlimited don't exist yet, but only time will tell. And this Amiibo would be compatible with other games as well, not just these. The stage I chose for Darkrai is Distortion World from Pokemon Platinum that came out in 2009. It came out in 2009 in the UK before anyone asks, so that's why I put it there. The Distortion World is a fairly large stage consisting of moving platforms. The major twist of this stage is some platforms will move and turn sideways, shifting gravity for any players currently on that platform. Players will have to adjust to the sudden direction change, plants and waterfalls that will also occasionally appear and disappear. And don't forget, Giratina will also appear in the background, no matter what form it takes. And it will also be used as a stage hazard, not as just a background appearance. For the music, for Darkrai's music, unlike any other Pokemon, Darkrai would use music from Mystery Dungeon and Pokemon The Rise of Darkrai. Yes, the movie. Marking the second time movie music is used in Smash after Final Fantasy VII Advent Children that was included with Sephiroth. But since Darkrai does have his own movie within the Pokemon anime, it would make sense to include music from Pokemon The Rise of Darkrai with Darkrai. And this music can not only be used with the Distortion World, but can also be used with any Pokemon stage. So the stage music being Distortion World from Pokemon Platinum, Giratina Battle from Pokemon Platinum, Legendary Pokemon appears from Pokemon Platinum, Defy the Legends from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, Boss Battle from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, Monster House, not the movie, but you get what I mean. Yeah, that was a good movie, but it's not that. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, Pokemon Toha from Pokemon The Rise of Darkrai, Palkia vs Dialga vs Darkrai from Pokemon The Rise of Darkrai. For the spirits, Darkrai is the fighter spirit, Cresselia, Mesprit, Azelf and Uxie, Licky, Giratina in its origin form, Turtwig, Chimchar and Piplup being enhanceable to Grottle, Monferno and Primplop, which is also enhanceable for one last time, which can be enhanced into Torterra, Infernape and Empoleon. And for the final few spirits being Professor Rowan, Lucas and Dawn, Cyrus and Spiritomb. And finally, my favourite part of any New Foes Appeared episode ever, the reveal trailer. I had to get creative as I could with this reveal trailer, with Darkrai being a nightmare Pokemon. This is what I came up with. The reveal trailer starts with Pokemon Trainer walking through a forest during a thunderstorm. Pokemon Trainer sees a house. That house he sees is actually Mario's house as seen in Paper Mario. Even though people would think it's Paper Mario from this build-up at first, but actually it isn't. Pokemon Trainer then knocks on the door. Sorry for that spelling mistake there. As Mario opens it and Pokemon Trainer asks if he could stay the night. Both Mario and Luigi agree to let him inside. As Mario and Luigi get tucked up in bed, as Pokemon Trainer, Squirtle and Ivysaur cuddle Charizard as their bed. Luigi falls asleep, and it then shows the Distortion World. Luigi screams as he falls towards the platform. Luigi then lands and has a look around, and he seems curious as he explores the Distortion World using the floating platforms, not knowing the certain figure that was following him. Luigi then walked onto a checkered pattern floor as seen in Darkrai's ultimate move in Pokémon Tournament, as Luigi then walks onto the checkered pattern floor without realizing he spots Mario and Pokemon Trainer in deep sleep. Luigi starts to panic, and a dark aura forms on the checkered pattern floor, and Luigi starts panicking as he attempts to run away from this black aura. But he didn't know that even running away would keep him at the same spot infinitely. Luigi was trapped, and when the mysterious figure rose, it used Dark Void. And with Luigi knocked out, the mysterious figure rises out of the aura, and the figure is revealed to be Darkrai, rises from the depths. Gameplay for Darkrai is then shown and when the gameplay ends, Luigi wakes up back in Mario's house. So everything that happened in the distortion world was actually all a dream, because this actually does make sense because of Mario and Luigi's dream team. And then Luigi sounded relieved that the nightmare was over, but he looked around the room and neither Mario or Pokemon Trainer were there. Luigi goes outside, but something felt off. The house was on top of a checkered pattern floor again, and Luigi starts to shake as he sees Darkrai in the distance. Darkrai then charges at Luigi in a horrifying way, and then Luigi screams in the hardest he's ever screamed in his life as the screen fades to white and splashes Super Smash Bros. Times Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. So guys, what did you think of a new Foes Appeared Darkrai? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn your notification bell on so you don't miss another new Foes Appeared like this one. And with Spooky Month on the way, I thought I would tease who I'm going to talk about in the month of October, aka Spooky Month. There is your teaser for who we're talking about in Spooky Month. And I'll see you all in a future New Foes Appeared. BB8 out.